Hello, everybody. How are you today? Hey, Della, Shroom, Vanessa, how you guys doing? Suppose I should probably tweet this out and let everybody know I'm going live, in case they didn't get the memo from 17 hours ago. Hey, Evolved, how you doing, man? How's everyone's hump day going? Sorry about any background noise. It's like 1,000 degrees in here, and I have to have some fans on. And my computer is running really, really slow. Live and tweet. Woo! Hey, Kyler, how you doing, man? Yeah, Della, I respect your game for hanging around so long. So, who wants to talk some comics? And even if you don't, we're gonna anyway, because that's kind of the point of the channel. I gotta retweet myself here. Hold on. As soon as Twitter decides it wants to work properly. They're talking mask mandates again around here, so I gotta find where I left my masks. I had an nasty cough, so my parents made me get a COVID test, but it was negative, so good. Oh, cool. Well, I'm sorry you got a cough, and I'm sorry you had to get a big old Q-tip jammed up your nose. Bring it. Oh, I will. Hope you feel better, Evolved. Yeah, I do too, Della. Unfortunately, I was busy all day. Mostly losing subscribers, apparently. But, yeah, I've been rushing around all day. It's really annoying. All right, let's talk next week's comics. If I leave and come back, the chat doesn't save. Yeah, I noticed that. It's really annoying. Nose and throat. Oh, that sucks, man. Drink lots of water. Stay hydrated. Help ease that throat. Catch replay. Hope to hear you on Ransky Monkey stream later. All right, man. Have a good one, Road Dog. Sorry, everybody streams kind of all at once. No matter when you go, you're crossing somebody else's supposed time slot. So you always end up against somebody. Hey, old guy. How you doing, man? All right. I got several news articles here. Most of them are pretty short, but we'll go over those after we look at next week's comics, like usual. Been like that for a long time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no matter what time you pick to go live, there's somebody's going to complain about it. Oh, I can't believe you're going up against this person. And we run into that all the time. And, you can't schedule with everybody because there'd be no time slots left. And it sucks because sometimes you end up having to go against people you like. And that's just, unfortunately, a side effect of live streaming. So, just one of those things we all have to live with, I guess. That's what replays are for. And that train is really annoying. There were 2 trains before that. Of course, there's another one now. And all the cicadas. So, all right. Let's jump into... Oh, man, my system is running really slow. All right, this is going to be a cluster of a show. All right, DC. We'll start with there. Wow. All right, so for the week of August 3rd, because remember, DC books come out on Tuesday. Everything else comes out on Wednesday. I don't know why it's like that. It's stupid. But whatever. Half the time, their books are late anyway. The new Batman has these stupid supporting cast members that seem to be the new stars of the show. I don't think they know how to do Batman without making him toxically masculine. So they have all these new supporting characters and people I just don't care about. This is Miracle Molly, and this is some annoying kid with a really stupid freaking hairdo. And now they have like super cyber enhancements in Gotham City because, why not? And this chick figured out who Batman was in like 10 minutes when he tried to go undercover. It was so dumb. So I've given up on the regular Batman title. It's just, they're not even trying. If they are trying, it's pathetic. And Ghostmaker is a stupid character. He's Asian Batman. And it's really, really lazy. So I gave up on that title. Hopefully DC figures out what they're doing and corrects it, but they're not going to. Crime Syndicate I am going to pick up because this book has been shockingly good, even though I generally hate villain books. This one was pretty solid. Crush and Lobo, no, I don't care about Girl Lobo. It's just more replacement crap. They can't even do Lobo right anymore because he can't be the comedic bounty hunter that he was. He was better as his own kind of universe thing. Trying to incorporate him into the DCU was a big mistake. They kind of killed the hyper-masculine joke that he was and tried to make him more down to earth, and it just didn't work. So I'm not getting that crap. The Conjuring was a little disappointing. The main story was interesting in the first issue. The backup was stupid. But I don't know. I'm losing interest in that. It had potential. Green Lantern, I'll probably pick that up. I'll review that for the patrons. Harley Quinn, the animated series. I don't care about Harley Quinn. She's overplayed at this point. Justice League, I'm not giving Bendis any money. His books have been so garbage. I don't know. DC made a huge mistake hiring him. Justice League Infinity, I've heard this is okay, but I hate the art. I mean, it just looks stupid, so I'm not getting that. OMAC One Man Army Corps is not my thing. I understand a lot of people just are enamored with Jack Kirby. I understand that what he did was important. I'm just not a huge fan. He had good ideas that were interesting that weren't always executed right and probably couldn't be. But OMAC was definitely one that had a lot of potential that really never got fully realized because the Comics Code Authority really held it back more than anything. But it was more of a social commentary, and I think that really be more effective today if they did it right, but instead they'd make it way too hyper-political. Suicide Squad, I don't care about. That book isn't particularly intriguing. Suicide Squad get Joker, I don't care. They do have a decent team on this one, so it might be good. But Suicide Squad was good back in the 80s, but I just don't have any interest in it. I know the movie's coming out. I don't really care that much. They're trying too hard to make everything dark and edgy, and it's just not that necessary. Although the Suicide Squad does lend itself to that, I'm just not that interested in villain books. Every now and then, but not very often. Supergirl Adventures, it was Girl of Steel. I don't care about that. Although this does look a little better than most of the young adult stuff they've been doing. So this might be okay. This is more the animated series style. So if they stick with that for the story, it would probably be good. The Dreaming, I don't give a crap. Neil Gaiman's overrated. It's pop psychology crap. And he's not even doing this one. Last God, the first issue is surprisingly fun, generic fantasy. It's very generic fantasy. But it had potential. I was willing to look at it more. I just never got around to it. And the books were overpriced. So they were $5 books like a year and a half ago. So I was going to pick them up out of the discount bins. So until I find them there, I'm not going to pick anything up, especially not trade, but hardcover. No thanks. Nice House on the Lake. I've got the first 2 issues. I just got the second printing of issue 1 last week. I haven't picked up this week's books yet. I might get this depending on how those go. They're near the top of the stack. So it's actually issue 1 is the second book on the stack here, followed by a IDW Star Wars miniseries. So that one I'll have reviewed shortly. Why'd do that? I didn't click. Great. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them nights. I'm really tired of this forced lesbianism too. It's really lazy. Hey, here's two characters you like. Well, they're gay now, just because we said so. Another Neil Gaiman book, Sandman. Sandman was okay. It was ahead of its time for what it was, but I still say Neil Gaiman's overrated. That's heresy in most circles, but it's just pop psychology, pseudo-intellectualism, and I don't have any patience for that crap. It's good for what it is, but people overinflate Sandman so heavily. Swamp Thing, this is crap. It's not Al Holland. I don't care. They've tried to turn him into this. What they do with everything. They try and make these bizarre characters like Swamp Thing, who's a weird character, granted, but they make them super powerful for some sort of weird reason. And then it gets really dumb really fast because it's very limiting when you do power fantasies on that level. And Swamp Thing was one of those. And since they replaced him with a diversity hire, I just don't care. American Vampire, I have no interest in either. So really, Crime Syndicate's mainly the one I'm going to pick up here. And the Green Lantern. Beyond that, I don't really care. Maybe Nice House on the Lake, but not much in the way of DC this week. Sorry if I sound a little out of sorts. I'm really tired. I've had a really long day. Yeah, the Bite Me fanboy jacket is actually worn by his daughter. You can't tell because she looks just like a dude. Hey, Zombie Teddy. Hey, Red Fun. How you guys doing? All right. Let's see. Let me finish opening a few things here because I didn't get a chance to do it. I just walked in the door right before I hit live, so I haven't had lunch or anything. All right. That's better. Let's go over to Image Comics. Oops. That's the wrong week. Why did it do that? Why is it not? That's better. I hate this. All right, that's better. Sorted. Ha! Fixed it. Swamp Thing is a nice supporting character. Yeah, he's better in miniseries. When they had him more as like generic superhero guy, plant-based powers, it was much more interesting with Saga of the Swamp Thing. Problem is, Alan Moore made the character into something different. He did this experimental thing with him and really kind of salvaged the sales on the book, but it made it so that everybody else has to try and outdo that. And I think that's foolish. Instead of making the character interesting on his own with, fun adventures or whatever, everybody wants to make him into some intellectual thing like Alan Moore did. I got to compare myself to somebody else instead of doing my own work. And it didn't help that Robert Veitch kind of went in the same direction, but he got weirder with it. So everybody's got to try and compete with those two guys because they know who they are and they know what they did with it. Folding laundry at work. Oh, that sounds awful. I hate folding laundry. But I love doing laundry. It's a weird conundrum. Swamp Thing, unfortunately, just like how Constantine has to trick Swamp Thing into helping him. Yeah, because Constantine's a dick, which I do have an article about the actor that plays him that we'll cover on Friday. All right. Image Comics. Commanders in Crisis, I don't care about. It's really surprisingly disappointing book. Could have been interesting, I suppose, but it turned out stupid. Firepower, get it in trade. Geiger, number 5, I'll probably pick that up, but I'll review that for the patrons. Hey Kids Comics, I don't care about. Inkblot, get it in trade because the regular issues are only 20 pages. It's not worth $4 that way. Not at all. It's way too short. I still haven't finished the reviews that I recorded for 4, 5, and 6 because I just was so mad by that point. Me Love You in the Dark. The Me You Love in the Dark. That's a really wordy and confusing title, so I'm not buying that. And the cover looks stupid, so no thanks. 7 to Eternity, don't care. Skybound X, #1, second printing. Hey, guess what? That #1 is still on the shelf at 3 of the comic shops that I've been to in the past month. Because this is a weekly series. They really haven't had time for it to sell out. Skybound 5, don't care. I flipped through issue 1, and it just looked kind of dumb. The retake on Walking Dead looked like it might be interesting. It's got some weird magic elements and science fiction stuff, but it just looked really dumb. It had potential, from what I could tell, to be an interesting alternate zombie tale, but it looks like they just treated it like it was silly, which it was, but instead of taking it so it takes itself seriously, they treated it like it's a joke within a joke. Stillwater, I've heard good things about that, but I don't want to read another horror novel. Stray Dogs, I'm not that interested. It looked dumb, from what I could tell. Plus, they're on 5th printings of issue 1. The trade's probably out by now. No, thank you. Trover Saves the Universe, that looks stupid. I mean, the guy's got a shoe for a head. You're trying too hard. Walking Dead Deluxe, don't care. So Geiger's the only one from Image. Dark Horse, BPRD, Hell on Earth. I like most of BPRD stuff, but I'm not giving you $30 for it. Cyberpunk 2077, you have my word #2. From what I can tell, those aren't very good. They're just kind of lame cash grabs. Gollum Walks Among Us, I am interested in that. I might pick it up. I like the Kojakoru or whatever the hell name that book was. That book was pretty fun. Gollum takes place within the same universe. It's part of something they're calling the Lord Baltimore universe. Which I didn't read Lord Baltimore, but heard good things. And I guess this kind of relates to Hellboy somehow. But it's Mike Mignola kind of expanding on what he's doing with Hellboy, creating its own universe thing. And they're giving him a lot of room over at Dark Horse to do that with these little mini-series. So I might pick that up. That looks like it might be interesting. Penny Zero is stupid. It's about an alcoholic kaiju fighter. Oh boy, so original. Lost on Planet Earth, don't care. Lucky Devil, it's about a guy that gets possessed and then an exorcism gets botched and he retains all the powers of the demon and forms a cult. I don't know, that could be good, but it's Dark Horse, so I'm betting it's probably not. And I just don't care enough. Operation Dragon, that might be interesting, but I'm not buying it for $25. Shadows hardcover, nope, $25. Not that interested. Soupy Leaves Home hardcover. It's about a homeless girl that goes on the lam as a hobo and changes her name to Soupy as she pretends to be a boy. I think I'll pass. Thank you. That's the type of low-quality trash that I've come to expect from Dark Horse lately. Steeple, don't care. It didn't sound interesting. Usagi Yojimbo Saga, Volume 2. I would buy that, but it's $30, and I don't have $30, so I'm not doing that. But it's one I'm going to keep an eye on for when I can find it cheap. Witcher trade paperback. I've heard those are all right, but I'm not that into The Witcher. Worst Dudes. That's a dumb title. No, thank you. So, really nothing except that Gollum book, maybe, from Dark Horse. Pretty slim pickings from Dark Horse, too. I think they're in some trouble still. IDW, we've got Star Trek Dead of Honor Facsimile Edition. I am tempted to buy that because these facsimile editions are reprinting some old Marvel and DC stuff occasionally, and they were really good back in the 80s. We started out with I think the 79 was the Star Trek series from Marvel, only ran for like 18 issues. I've got the whole run. I've been planning on reviewing them. And then DC picked it up with 1984 series that ran for about 50 issues. And then there was a 1989 series, which also ran for a long time. I think that one was 59 issues. Don't quote me on that. But I've got all of those 3 series. And then there was also a Star Trek Next Generation one, which I've got about 3/4 of, that ran around 89 as well. And those were all really good, and they rarely reprint any of them. But IDW reprinted one of the annuals for Next Generation called The Gift as a one-shot. And it was just a reprint of an annual. But it was a fun story. And this Debt of Honor, I remember liking that when it came out. So that one would probably be worth the $10. So IDW doing some serious good work there by reprinting stuff that otherwise won't get reprinted. Transformers I gave up on. These best ofs are stupid, so I don't even bother. I mean, they're good reprints if you really like that character, but I think they're dumb. Grimlock I'm probably going to skip. The cover art looks stupid. It might be okay, but that might be an impulse buy. Let me check in with the chat before we get on to Marvel here. Oh, thank you for the donation. Mermoset? That's really generous, dude. Thank you very much. And thank you, Okie Native. Have 1 gallon of gas or 2 pounds of chicken or whatever. Dealer's choice. I'll probably get gas. Gas is expensive. It's gone up quite a bit. It was like $3.15 the other day. Hey, Straight Sith Male. How you doing? Swamp Thing was the only part I liked about Justice League Dark Apocalypse War movie. God, that was terrible. I didn't see that one. It looked pretty bad. Justice League Dark and Apocalypse don't really go together. The Dark Horse used to be good. They used to be amazing. They used to do really cool, subversive stuff. Their superhero line was interesting. Like Ghost. That was really cool. And Barbed Wire. They had some really cool stuff. The Hellboy stuff, of course. They used to have Yojimbo, and the Aliens and Predator stuff was really good. But they've really been sucking ass last couple of years. It's really a shame, too, because they used to have a lot of good licensed stuff. And then what effectively seems to have happened is that they decided to get a little woke and cover trans surgery for their employees. And apparently a couple people took them up on that, and it damn near bankrupted the company. So I don't know 100% that that's the case, but that's the story I've heard. And that explains why their paper quality's gone to shit. They've lost most of their licenses. The Fox stuff, I understand they lost because of the acquisition by Disney. Like, let the kill that you start out cool, went downhill fast. Yeah, it happens a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, Dark Horse used to have some really cool stuff that nobody else tried. Hey, Baby Doll, how you doing? Well, I really appreciate the donations, guys. That's really helpful. And thank you, Amar Moset, for the very generous donation, man. That's really cool. And thank you, Oki, for the donation. I can get gas and groceries this week. I could go to the comic shop tomorrow. I'm not going to, but I could. I'll have to wait till this weekend, unfortunately. I'm dog sitting all week. And it's adorable, but I have to get up stupid early to do it. So, yeah, I've been running around all over the place. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained today. Let's get back to it. Marvel Comics. Amazing Spider-Man, Micheline McFarlane Omnibus. This is actually a really, really good book. All right, we get Amazing Spider-Man 296 to 329. That's all of McFarlane's run, plus Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 10. And Dave Micheline was one of the best Spider-Man writers for the late 80s, early 90s. I know people will argue with me on that, but he was a really, really solid writer. And this was a great time. There were some great stories in here, like the Assassination. That was really fun. So if you can afford it, that one's actually worth the $100. Just because those issues alone would issue 300 by itself is like $300 right now. They reprinted it several times, but all the other issues combined will cost you more than $100. So it's actually good value. But I would still recommend getting it off in stock trades or half price trades. So or Amazon even for that matter, and save yourself at least $20. Avengers 47, I will probably pick that up because that's part of that She-Hulk storyline, and James wanted me to review the one issue, so I kind of want to know what the story is so I can give it a fair review. So I'll probably pick that one up just out of requirement. Captain America Omnibus by Dan Jurgens. Dan Jurgens did a pretty solid run. This issue was actually a pretty good one. This is Captain America from 1988, 25 through 50, and Captain America Annual 2000 and 2001, plus material from Captain America the Legend. So you could probably find these cheaper, but still a good omnibus. I would probably buy that again on somewhere where you get a better discount. But Death of Captain America, I think, was officially where I tapped out of Captain America. I tried after that. The Bucky stuff was fine. It was well written, but they lost me after that. It was so lazy to kill Cap off like that. And then when they tried the whole Hydra thing, I was appalled by that. That was disgusting. Curse of Man thing, I don't care. Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood. I'm not a big Deadpool guy. If you're a huge Deadpool fan, it's probably fine, but I think they've overdone it with that character quite a bit, and they need to kind of dial it back a bit. And a lot of times I don't find him funny like a lot of other comic people do. It's just not really my thing, but I'm sure it's okay. Excalibur Volume 1 hardcover. It's the Teenie Howard thing from this recent X-Men nonsense. Not worth $35. I don't think I would pay $5 for that. Although Polly disagrees with me. I know he likes Excalibur, but I checked out, man. I thought it was trash. Especially when they turned Psylocke into Captain Britain. That was so dumb. I knew it was happening, too. It was so stupid. Extreme Carnage. I don't care about this crossover at all. So the Lasher micro series, whatever, one shot, I don't give a crap. Fantastic Four poster. No, I'm good. Golden Age Captain America Omnibus. That's also really cool if you like the Golden Age stuff. This is back from the 50s when he's mostly fighting communism at this point because World War II had ended. It's Captain America 13 through 24. So, yeah, there might still be some commie stuff in here. Yeah, World War II. But he ends up fighting commies more later. They retconned that in the late Silver Age, early Bronze Age, when they explained that the person that was doing all those adventures was actually somebody else and not Steve Rogers. And they explained that there were a series of replacement Captain Americas. That was actually pretty interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy Annual. No, I don't care. Guardians of the Galaxy hasn't been very good. Hellions, it's a garbage X-Men title. Zeb Wells, he's mediocre. Just not my thing. Immortal Hulk, I heard, is wrapping up. I still don't care. This cover is insulting because that's a takeoff of the Amazing Spider-Man issue where he gets the power cosmic. And that's just dumb. What is this? Look at that crap. Really? Stupid. Maestro, Warren Pax, that's probably okay. I didn't read that miniseries. I read the first one. Marvel Voices poster. Yeah. What a waste of $9. That art's garbage anyway. Miles Morales, Marvel Tales. That's just a collection. I can't talk. Of several Miles Morales stories. It's just the old Marvel Tales comic was a reprint series for Spider-Man, and now they're doing one-shots that are just cash grabs of old stories, and most of the time they're in the middle of a storyline, so they don't make a whole lot of sense on their own, but they're considered classics for some reason. Stupid. Miles Morales is a garbage character anyway. New Mutants by Vita Ayala. No, it's trash. Vita Ayala is one of the most overrated writers in comics today. She is good at writing the same boring thing over and over again. And it's almost always about gay characters. She loves writing new gay characters. She's non-binary. I think she's she. I don't fucking know. I can't keep up. It's garbage, though. New Mutants Epic Collection, Sudden Death. That's a good collection. Collects New Mutants 55 through 70 of the original 83 series and Annual 4. There was some really good stuff. I got this huge run of New Mutants out of a discount bin a couple months ago for like 50 cents each. They were all reader copies, not in perfect shape or anything, but that was pretty exciting because a lot of the ones that I picked up I hadn't read, and that was after this period, but I was aware of them because the storylines were always referenced. But yeah, I liked what I have read of the old New Mutants series. I've liked, and I think I read the first 60 issues, 70 maybe. No, it was 60. But yeah, so these trades are worth it. And some of those are fairly expensive because like issue 100 was the first Cable and Deadpool. You could get the reprints, which are way cheaper because there's a $4 facsimile edition they did a few years ago. It cost you probably $8 or $10 now. That's way more worth it. I'm a collector to read them, not to invest. I gave up on that a long time ago. Savage Avengers, that really went downhill a long time ago. Shang-Chi #1, that wasn't that good. I flipped through that at the stand. Not that interesting. Silk, good character concept, poorly executed every time. Sinister War, this is Nick Spencer's wrap-up on his Spider-Man run. I have no interest. I think Nick Spencer's way overrated, and he likes to do lazy stuff with characters, like making bad guys good guys and good guys bad guys, like the Captain America thing he did. So I'm not interested in that. Spirits of Vengeance, Spirit Rider. I'm going to check this one out. This is supposed to be the story where this lady, who's a new character, is supposed to save Jenny Blaze from eternal damnation. She's like no writer you've ever seen. Yeah, she's probably garbage. But I don't know who B. Earl is. I know he's the guy from Black Eyed Peas, but I've never read his work before, so I'm willing to give this one a chance. She was a former Sorcerer Supreme because she's a diversity hire now. But she's also a Spirit of Vengeance. So that could be interesting. I'm willing to give it a look. So that's probably going to be an impulse buy, not something that I don't have it on my order form. But it's not one that I'm eagerly seeking out. But I probably will check it out because I like Ghost Rider when he's done well. They just haven't done anything with him in a while. Bounty Hunter War is still going on, so I'm not reading any of those. This is interesting, though. This is from the 1977 series, collecting 74 through 88. Now, this is a collection worth picking up. Collect 74 through 78, an Annual 3, and Return of the Jedi 1 through 4. You're going to pay a lot more than $40 for those, just for the Return of the Jedi books. They're going for about $10 a piece. And because of The Mandalorian, the prices are going up on all the Star Wars stuff. But this is a really good collection. If you want to read the classic Star Wars stuff from Marvel, they consider it Legends because they got rid of any kind of expanded universe stuff. Although, from the sound of it, they are bringing some of it back in. So this is actually definitely worth checking out. This is when Marvel did Star Wars correctly. So absolutely high recommendation on these. I loved these as a kid. Star Wars was one of my every month purchases, and I never was disappointed. The last couple issues may have become close, but that's because I didn't like the art. But overall, it's worth checking out. Bounty Hunter War, like I've said before, I probably will check it out and trade, but I'm not buying all these $5 one-shots and $4 issues for series I don't read, like Dr. Aphra. I could give a shit about Dr. Aphra. Stupid character. Trials of Ultraman, absolutely going on the list. Ultraman's awesome. Venom 35-second print. I bought the issue already. I got the first print. Haven't read it. I'm way behind on Venom, and unfortunately, due to what's going on with my mom. I haven't had a chance to get caught up on my comics, and I'm real sorry about that because I know I'm behind on a lot of stuff. So I will get those videos out hopefully soon, and I've got one for the patrons that'll probably go up tomorrow. Actually, I should have 2 up for the patrons, hopefully before the weekend, because I'm way behind. We'll have a Spider-Man number 3. No, garbage. The interior art's trash, too. Wolverine Black, White, and Blood Treasury Edition. It wasn't that interesting. The Wolverine Omnibus, however, by John Byrne and Chris Claremont. Claremont did the first 9 issues, and John Byrne did a bunch of work on this one. So this is 11 through 30, which had some really good stories. I think Peter David did some of the writing on this too. But yeah, you got Spider-Man, Hulk, Ghost Rider. It's got Wolverine, Nick Fury's Scorpio connection. That's a good book. And Jungle Adventure, Wolverine Bloodlust, and Marvel Comics Presents 38 through 71. That's a lot of stuff from those books. The Marvel Comics Presents, some of those are kind of pricey, surprisingly. So this is actually a really good one to pick up if you're a Wolverine fan. I would go with this Jim Lee cover. I like this one a little better than that. This is a good cover too, but I like this one a little better. Don't go with the Barry Windsor Smith one. It looks really weird when you take it more than a 2-second look at it. Barry Windsor Smith has some really weird art styles. His old Conan stuff is amazing, but later on when he got to like Rune and he started doing freaky weird shit like this, it was very hit and miss for me. But this is a great Wolverine collection. Volume 1, of course, is too. I would definitely recommend that one as well. But don't pay $125. Nothing's $125 good. Just get the discount stuff. Wait till you see it on Amazon, which is usually about $85 or $90. So you'll save $30 there. In-stock trades will have it for less. Same with half price. You'll save a lot more money. They're usually about $80 on there. And you'll get free shipping. Poster I don't care about. X-Men number 2. I don't care about the X-Men anymore. They've totally destroyed my interest in it with this Jonathan Hickman crap. They're not heroes. They're villains. They're ethnocentric purists, separatists, and drug dealers, human traffickers. How are you going to redeem that? I'm intrigued to find out because I really do not know how they're going to salvage those characters. Let me check in with the chat again. How are you guys doing over here? Don't feel rushed. I'm trying to catch up. I think most of us understand. Yeah, I hope so. I know some people are mad at me. But yeah, I've had a hard time keeping up because I'm just tired all the time and I don't get a lot of sleep. Effectively, I finish Monkey in the morning whenever we're done there. Get about 3 hours of sleep at most. And then go help my mom and dad, and then got to run back and try and do stuff. I was lucky enough to have some couple hours to do some filming for Roll for Sanity, so I was able to get the zombie side done. But I've had those box sets sitting here for a while, and I've had to get those done because I got to get them back to their owner. Only buy readers copies unless I get them cheap or something brand new that catches my eye. Yeah, reader copies are really the way to go because I'm tired of paying top dollar for anything. And quite frankly, at this point, I'm willing to pay $5 for a back issue to not buy a new issue, which I'm not sure about. If I don't know if a book's going to be good or I don't think it's going to be good, why is it worth my $5? I could get some amazing back issues for $5 from a much better era. And there are good books out there, but why should I take the risk when the majority is garbage? Marvel especially is ruining it for everybody, and DC is just following suit. Yeah, Marvel's still not worth a damn. The older books really are the way to go. Hey, nobody, how you doing? I actually read some of the early New Mutants back in the day. They looked interesting, but I was broke at the time. Yeah, man, if you're looking to pick anything up from the 80s, the X-Men stuff were all pretty solid. Excalibur was a little weird at times, goofy, but it was a good read. It was at least consistent. And now that you can get them in trade paperback for $40, that's exorbitant to somebody like me because I'm cheapskate, but it's really not a bad price for as much as you're getting. So if you're looking to read some good stuff, I would go with that. Just get the trades. Had some of the early Star Wars. Wish I'd kept them. Yeah, I have most of the 70s run. I had actually bought a bunch of them about 2 years ago for real cheap. Like, this guy had no clue what he had. But I had originally had the entire run because we bought them off the newsstand because I'm old. And I regret selling them because right now issue 42 is like $300. And that's, of course, one of the issues I'm not able to get because I didn't get that one. But I've got a bunch of the Empire Strikes Back stuff around it. And yeah, that's my take on it, Evolved. But a lot of people don't agree. Oh, nice. Hey, Spittlebug, how you doing? That's pretty awesome, Straight Sith Mail. Yeah, my aunt found issues 1, 2, and 3 at a garage sale. And she's like, I bought these comic books. I didn't know if you'd want them. I'm like, yes, I want those. I absolutely want those. They're pretty beat up, but yeah, they weren't the reprints either. That surprised me. I think one's a 35-cent cover, which means it's worth a few dollars more, but they're not in good enough condition. I'm going to get anything out of them, but it's nice to have them. Each massage is worth $125. Yeah, I specifically meant comic books. And a good massage is priceless. The X-Men, yeah, right? I have most of the Legend Star Wars novels. Yeah, I've got a couple of them still. Because there's a few I never read, but like the Han Solo trilogy, I was really bored with. It was like they were written for 8th graders. Oh, hey, Tyrite. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't have 2 screens right now, so I can't check it. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Tyrite. Yay, Jack. Got to go to bed. We'll listen to you tomorrow morning. Awesome. Thank you, Tyrite. Thank you again, Okie Native. Is it me or the publishers trying to cash grab to prevent their total collapse by reprinting even more stories from an era when they still had talent than normal? Yes. And I'm kind of okay with that because it does give them an idea that their older stuff is popular, and maybe, God willing, they will look at that and say, what did we do differently from then that we're doing differently now? And why is this old stuff more popular than our current stuff? And because now Marvel gets distributed through Penguin Random House, there's a better chance some of this older stuff's going to get reprinted more. And that's good for the old school fans that want to read that, or the new fans that haven't read it, which I highly recommend checking out stuff from the 80s, because that was really what Marvel's peak. In mid-90s up till about 95, then it really fell off the tracks. But there's a rumor going around that Marvel and DC are considering just doing reprints. And at this point, that's probably not a bad idea. And just farm out the IPs for people that care to do them. Because some of the crap they're turning out is just garbage. And thank you, Baby Doll. Generous donation. Appreciate it. For you and Lord Fliffington. Oh, thank you. I just saw him today. I hadn't seen him in almost 2 days. And he was one pissed off cat. Because apparently we just kept missing each other. Which one was 42? It was the one with Boba Fett on the cover. With the bounty hunters. They had Bosk, Boba Fett, and I want to say Dengar. And that was the first comic book appearance of Boba Fett. That's why that one is so expensive. It's, for some reason, the speculators have latched onto it in the past couple months. Probably because Book of Boba Fett's coming out sometime in the next year or whatever. The speculators ruin it for everybody else because that was only like a $100 book like a year ago. 80s X-Men was pretty good according to my memories as a teenager at the time. Yeah, that's what it was designed for, though. They were written toward high schoolers and college students. So for its time, it was good young adult stuff, and it still holds up pretty well. I think I got mostly 20 to 30s issues. Nice. Those were good, too. Well, I was an 8th grader at the time, so I got the Han Solo trilogy. Yeah, I just never really got into the novels very much. I've read quite a few of them. I forget the name of it. There was one that I really liked. Shadows of the Empire was good. But there were a couple of them that I liked. Han Solo's Revenge, I own a copy of the original that I never read for 40 years. But I've had it for that long. And Splinter in the Mind's Eye, I think I've got kicking around somewhere, too. But the novelization of Star Wars was actually pretty well written. That was Alan Dean Foster, who's an actual science fiction writer. It varies a little bit from the movies, too. Yeah, Dengar's got the head bandages. So storage in a long box or in an attic. Yeah, that was a problem for me for a long time, too. I wonder where... I know I own that. Where is it? Oh, I'm total nerd, man. Yeah, sorry about the not checking the Streamlabs. It's I'm getting this rectified probably next week so that I can have 2 screens again. Until then, we're kind of it'll just be a couple more streams with it just as one. I never read the Thrawn trilogy, Kyler. I heard it was good, but I never really got into novelizations that much. I liked the Star Trek novels a little better. Don't know why, but I like the Star Trek original series novels. A lot of those were really good. I liked, actually, surprisingly, the William Shatner ones. They were kind of fun. They weren't overly serious, and they were quick reads, but I don't read a lot of fiction anymore. Like, rarely do I ever read fiction anymore. I just don't have time. Other than comics, obviously, but I mean actual books. Oh, no, Oki, that's not a terrible drawing of his hand. That's how his hand actually looks. It just looks silly. All right, let's jump back in here. Sorry, this is dragging a little bit probably for those of you that want to get to the news articles. All right, we got Barbarella, Virgin Editions, $50, waste of money. Same with Days of Thor versus John Carter, which I didn't get my copy. I forgot about it. It's still sitting up at the comic shop. But yeah, I don't care about these $50 covers. That's how Dynamite stays in business, is these virgin covers and alternate covers and signed crap. It's brilliant, but you're just paying on people that are collectors that can't stop themselves. They got to have all the covers. Dynamite Art of John Cassidy signed edition. That's probably cool, but I'm not giving you $75 for some dude's autograph. Elvira meets Vincent Price. That's probably going to be fun, but I'm going to skip it just due to numbers. I don't really want to spend that much more money. Invincible Red Sonja, another $50 book. I've got issue 3 sitting here. It's ways down in the stack, though, so that might be a week or 2. Vampirella, don't care. It's been crap. Vampirella versus Purgatory, like I've said before, I've heard good things, but again, that's a $50 limited edition variant. It's limited because they know that they only make a couple hundred of them. Suckers will give them $50. I haven't liked any cover that much that I'm willing to pay $50 for that specific cover. So nothing really from Dynamite. Boom, Basilisk. Not interested. Buffy, don't care. Heard that's going downhill too. The Expanse. I remember that was like a TV show, but I don't remember it. It's probably okay. Magic the Gathering is garbage. Real disappointing. They didn't introduce the characters at all. 7 Secrets, I don't care about. Wind, no, that was stupid. So, yeah, nothing from Boom. That's really disappointing. There's a cool Storm statue for $50. Not buying that. All right, on to the others. Agent Moose, graphic novel, Moose on Mission. No, I'm good, thanks. They should have called it Missionary Moose. Amber Blake, Operation Dragonfly from Heavy Metal. I'm protesting Heavy Metal. Otherwise, I'd probably be consider buying that. Because supposedly the creative team's pretty good on that. But not paying you $8 for it anyway. Archie 1000-page comics dream, $15 trade paperback. If you're into Archie, that's actually a good deal. The Archie stuff, you get value for the dollar on, featuring over 100 stories of hilarious scenarios and heartwarming tales. The Archie stuff's always safe. Oh, it's 1,000 pages. Wow. For $15? Ooh, that's real good value for the dollar. Wow. All right, good job, Archie Comics. They've really dialed back a lot. From what I heard, the guy that was doing the more experimental stuff with Archie, it was forced out. So I think they're kind of going back to their, what I would call homeschool kid. stuff. But if you like Archie, that's a value for the dollar. $15, yeah, you can't beat that. Artemisa, that art looks stupid. Battle Angel Alita graphic novel volume 1, that's probably okay. I've heard the Battle Angel stuff's pretty good. I remember reading some of it back in the late 80s. It was put out by, I think, Antarctic Press or Viz, one of those. And it was pretty interesting story, but I hated the art. I hate anime art. Sorry, I know that puts me in the minority these days, but I absolutely did not like the art, but the story seemed interesting. So, yeah, if you liked the movie, you'll probably dig that. And it's volume 1, so it's only $13. But the fact that it's an anime or manga shouldn't really bother you. If you like the movie, you'll probably dig it. Bite Maker Kings Omega. That sounds like gay porn. No, thank you. Black Clover. It's a manga. It's volume 26. No, thanks. Blade Runner 2099, number 6. I will buy that. I do like the Blade Runner stuff. Don't really care which cover. They're all kind of mediocre. Bungo Stray Dogs. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to pass. Canis Deer, Mr. Rain. That sounds like porn. No, thank you. A weird manga porn. Chasing the Dragon was stupid. No. Cirque du Freak. I don't care. But somebody said that one was pretty good. Daigo the Beast. That's one of those fighting game ones that looks like Street Fighter. Yeah, Uden. They do the Street Fighter stuff. I'm sure that's fine. Dark History of Reincarnated Villainous. Catchy title, but I'm going to pass. Dead End Kids is stupid. Demon Slayer, Kim something. It's supposed to be pretty good, but volume 23, and it's got the big creepy eyes that'll give me nightmares. No thanks. Dynamic Forces is not worth it. Engine Ward, I'm going to pass. Not interested. First Degree Crime Anthology from Humanoids. That actually might be okay, but I'm not supporting Humanoids. That Mark Wade's running that. And unless there's something that I absolutely can't live without, I don't really want to pick anything up from them. Although they are reprinting a lot of hard-to-find stuff that's published by a couple people in Europe, real popular European artists and writers. So some of those Humanoids reprints are probably really, really good, just not for me. And I'm not spending $28 on it. Freak Show number 3, don't care. God Killer, Tomorrow's Ashes, I don't care. That looks dumb. Happy something Killer Life. That doesn't tell me anything about it by the cover, so I'm just gonna skip it because it looks like just weird anime girl stuff. Heavy number 7, I'm gonna pass on that. Not interested. Horimayu, I think. I don't know. That looks like some relationship stuff. I'll pass. Horizon Zero Dawn Liberation. That might be interesting. Titan's okay, but cover looks a little washed out. I don't know anything about the video game. I heard it's okay. They like porked up the chick. So I don't know. If I played the video game, I'd probably buy it, but I'm probably going to pass. Horror Comics, Antarctic Press. I'm going to pass. That's another anthology book. They don't do those very well. It's way too hit and miss. I Swear I Won't Bother You Again. That sounds like a lie since that's volume 2. In the Shadow of Fallen Towers. Cool title, but the cover doesn't tell me much about it, and I'm not really into manga, so I'm going to pass. Invader Zim, not my thing, but those seem like they're popular with the Invader Zim audience. So if you're really into Invader Zim, that'd be for you. Sex Worker in Another World. That's definitely porn. Probably Tentacles. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've heard mixed things on that, but it doesn't seem like anything I'd be interested in. But it is Adventure Part 5 Golden Wind Volume 1. How's it Part 5 and Volume 1? Whatever. I don't care. Jujutsu Kaisen. Looks like a fighting kind of thing, maybe. I don't know. Or that guy's coughing. Maybe he's got the coof. Who knows? Don't know what it's about. Another manga, Sama Love is War. That cover does not sell me on the book. You got to really sell me with the cover if it's manga, because I do not have any interest in manga normally. But it is a growing market, so I should look into it. But you got to sell me with it on the cover, and that does not sell me. That is just some dude with his finger up who looks like he's going to lecture me. That might be a chick who's going to tell me all about her pronouns, and I have no interest in paying money for that. Carnival, catchy title. I don't know, I guess. $20 is expensive for that. Kei's Haikuru, that looks like some samurai stuff for the kid with a balding problem. Shaved head. I don't know. Is he a monk? Beats me. Doesn't tell me anything about it by the cover. King's Beast. That's a very busy cover. Cool title, though. Laughing Under the Clouds. The cover is better than the title. Livewire's garbage. Don't buy that trash. $50. What are you, high? Those books are all in the 50-cent box. Locust #1, not interested. Maria Lovett's Porcelain, no thank you. I don't know who Maria Lovett is. I've heard that name a couple times before. Just, I don't care. Porcelain, what is this about? It doesn't tell me anything. Blaze is generally pretty good at picking stuff, so if it looks like something you're interested in, it might be worthwhile. So Blaze does some pretty good stuff. Meadowlark Coming of Age, don't care. MFKZ, the art is stupid. It's a weird kitty, edgy art. Elric. That's actually a pretty good book. It's the library, Michael Moorcock Library Stormbringer. The art is a little weird, though, but it's pretty well done. Nightlights. I don't like the art. Looks kitty. Not All Robots. Just buy it and trade for $10 instead of paying $4 an issue. Out of Body. Not interested. Penguin the Cat, The End of the World, don't care. Pizza and Taco, young adult graphic novel, super awesome comic. That looks like it's aimed at elementary school kids, not young adult. And Pizza and Taco sounds like a porno that I would star in. Me and some saucy chick. Pompo, the cinephile, a book about movies. I don't know what that's about. Promised Neverland. I don't like the art. Queen of the Ring. The art looks like indie stuff from the 70s. No thanks. Record of Glass Castle. Don't care. Red Room. Don't care. Sasquatch in Love. That sounds like porn that I would find on Amazon. Sayonara Football, Farewell My Dream, Dear Kramer. Well, I thought it said Dear Creamer, but that's a much different type of book. No interest. Sports book, sounds boring. Snelson, don't care, looks stupid, and it's got to do with a cow. That's probably porn. Snow White with Red Hair. I don't know anything about that, but it's volume 14, so kind of late in the game to jump in. Strange Adventure of Broke Mercenary. That's an okay title. The cover looks like it might be interesting. Strange Death of Alex Raymond. That could be good. Alex Raymond wrote the original Flash Gordon stuff back in the day, the newspaper strips, and they were really cool art style. I'm going to mark that because I want to look into that later. That might be worth checking out, but $40 is a lot. Sublime's Sublime $5 at the door. Is that the band Sublime? $5 at the door, I'm guessing. I don't care about the band Sublime in their comic book. Tarot Witch of the Black Rose. Yeah, that book just seems to keep coming out and coming out. Trapped in a Dating Sim World. That sounds like porn. 2 weeks wait. That sounds like some really boring, lazy COVID shit. And the art style looks like trash. Uncle from Another World, that sounds like porn. Vampire and His Pleasant Companions. The cover makes it look like porn. Van Helsing versus Dracula's Daughter. That was a pretty interesting story. That's a trade paperback, though, so it's a 5-issue miniseries they collected. I have most of that, I think, laying around. Van Helsing versus Invisible Woman. I will check that out. I do like Xenoscope. I'm not a huge Van Helsing fan, but that one sounded interesting, so I'll check that one out. And at $6, you're getting like 40 pages of story, which is almost twice as much as what you're getting anywhere else, so might as well. Wake Up Sleepyhead, I don't care. That sounds stupid. We Don't Kill Spiders. Pff, okay, weirdos. We Never Learn, graphic novel. That sounds like porn. It sounds like that 50 First Dates as a porno. We Promised Utopia. Well, that's what you get for making false promises. Betty and Veronica, Digest. I'm sure it's fine. World War III, #1. That's Antarctic, so 50-50 on that one. I'm not taking the chance, though. It might be worth reading, though. Wrong Earth, Night and Day. Don't care anymore. That book's overrated. Yana and the Dawn graphic novel. That sounds like porn. Zombie Tramp. That pretty much is porn. And that is the last of it. There's quite a few in there I'm willing to check out. So, yeah, there's some stuff worth looking at here. The Van Helsing one versus Invisible Woman is probably the only one I'm super looking forward to. But there's some in here I'll definitely check out. So that's next week's comics. We're going to look more into that Alex Raymond one later. Oops. Let me catch up with you guys in chat here. Oh, wow. I'm way behind. Thrawn Trilogy was excellent. That's what I've heard. I'll have to check those out sometime. I just don't read a lot of fiction. Remember, I'm working on a new book, so I got to do some research for it, so I just don't have time to do... I barely have time to do the research for it. That's why it's taken forever to get my books out. Or because Weird Orange Lizard Dude... Oh, yeah, I read that one. Left hand's drawn worse than the right. That's true. That's true. I'll give you that one, Oki. You're right. Got a bunch of those Star Trek novels, too. Generally excellent books. Yeah, I was rarely disappointed with the Star Trek stuff. Star Wars stuff just really didn't do it for me because some of it was just too hit and miss. I guess like some of them were aimed at like college level and some of them were aimed at like middle school level. It seemed like it was too much variance and not a lot of quality control because they were just trying to keep Star Wars alive. And sometimes it was just garbage. But there were a couple I wouldn't mind checking out that, like the Thrawn trilogy, I wouldn't mind reading that. A lot of the Timothy Zahn books looked like they might be pretty good. What I read of them were okay. Yeah, the original Star Trek stuff, I enjoyed that quite a bit. Went through a little Star Trek phase in high school. It was right around the same time as my Doctor Who phase. And because the Next Generation had just kind of come out when I was in middle school. So I got into the original series and I started reading the books because they did air it at a regular basis. It was kind of like a fill-in slot when a show didn't do well or after a sporting event and they still had to fill like an hour before the next show. They'd put in Star Trek. So I'd watch that. And I got really into the paperbacks for some reason. Look up Elvira meets Svengoolie. Nice. Buffy's going down. It's that kind of book. Yeah, Dare to Dream. Magic Gathering book had such potential that didn't make much sense unless you were already a fan. Yep, they didn't explain who anybody was at all. Like, they give you, like, this is this person's name, and they do this, but what the fuck's a planewalker? It never told me in the book. Yeah, they're not going to draw anyone into either the game or the comics unless they're already existing fans. So you're not getting anywhere with that. I've heard the novels are pretty good. I never read them, but I knew a couple of diehard Magic people that loved it. The doughy eyes creep me out, dude. JoJo's weird. That's what I've heard. The people that like it really seem to like it, but there's no real middle ground. You either like it or you don't, it seems. Love is War's relationship story. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So this is a side, but why does Ethan Van Sciver wear that English driving hat on most of his podcasts he goes on? He seems to do weird outfits. I haven't watched him in a long time because I got tired of all the drama, quite frankly. There's just too much nonsense drama. It seems to be all those channels are now. The Comicsgate channels are all drama. I don't have time for that crap. I really do not have time for it now. But I didn't care back then, and I care even less now. Because it's not even interesting drama. It's just petty, dumb shit of people that can't let their egos get in the way and can't work together. But he wears a lot of costume stuff now, and like he's been wearing wigs and goofy hats. I've seen screenshots, and people like the Comic Book Hut talk about him occasionally. So I don't watch it. He got glued to his head at an early age. You never know. Surprise twist is all porn. Well, at least that's a genre. Information is helpful. I hope so. I try to be helpful. But mainly, I just want to look at the stuff that I can't afford and be like, oh, that's neat. Oh, that's neat. And then be like, oh, I'm going to buy this, maybe. It's pretty riveting being on here with me. Didn't we all go through a Star Trek phase in high school? Yeah, hopefully. It's good for you. It builds character and an interest in science. Middle school for Star Trek The Next Generation. I thought you were older than that. No, let's see. That came out in, 88? I'd have been in 8th grade. Because I'm 47. Magic the Gathering, the first 4 at least were decent. That's what I've heard. But I just never got into Magic that hard. I had like the Alpha box, and I had a couple starters after that randomly because I'd buy a starter to play with one of my friends who was pestering me to play, but it just never really got in. I never got into it. The addiction never set in, thankfully, because, oh my gosh, I saw people sink thousands of dollars on that. I saw a kid buy an entire case of Magic the Gathering. And it wasn't even like a popular set. It was one of the Zendikar sets or whatever. I'm sure some of it's worth money, but he had to have lost his ass on that. But apparently he did that with every set. So, big eyes, pale skin, and long legs. What the Japanese think is beautiful. They're not wrong, but only in real life, not in their creepy books. The big eyes thing, with like when they have the over-exaggerated features and like the wide mouth and they start crying and it's like gallons of water. It's too over the top. Dial it back 6 or 7 notches. It's too weird. And when they draw people like creepy little puppets or something, like there'll be like some tall skinny dude and some short fat dude with like a really weird looking face. I don't get that at all, dude. It's just not my thing. Stopped after the 5th or 6th. I don't blame you. Star Trek phaser. Nice. Great timing. Just finished doing 25 sets of sheets. Oh, ew. Wow. Well, welcome back. New Magic Gathering set is based on D&D. It's actually pretty cool if you like D&D. Okay, that's a good cross promotion. There's rumor they're going to try and sell D&D and maybe all of Wizards. And that's why they were going after TSR so hard. Sold about 40 cards and made back most of the money I spent on Magic. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'd buy packs of Magic cards just to sell the rare out of it. I made a killing off World of Warcraft when that card game came out. Because we were the only people in the tri-state area that had more than a couple boxes of it because we took a gamble. Well, I took a gamble with my money. Back when Magic was getting rolling, I made $50K per year on cards. Holy crap, Uncle Ira. That's awesome. A lot of Magic Gathering cards somewhere around. Haven't played since just after the Unlimited run. Yeah, I haven't played in... I think I played once about a decade ago. Yeah. Mox cards and Black Lotus. Oh, that'll do it. Yeah. That's pretty nice. Well, let's get into some news. Oh, we had tons of stuff sitting around. I got into Galactic Empires, so, Oki, for what that's worth, I think I beat you on worse game choices. There was a superhero game, forget the name of it. It came in an orange box. I reviewed it on Roll for Sanity. That was like the first superhero role-playing game, because it came out a couple years before Overpower, or whatever the other one was that Marvel did. I think Overpower was the first one. But it came out before that, and it was just super generic. Never had any boosters as far as I could tell. And I thought it was stupid, but it was kind of fun. But I had a bunch of the starter decks for stuff because I got a bunch of them for free. The comic shop I used to go to was also a game store. One of them was, anyway. And they liked me, and the owners would give me one of the sample decks to try out. because they wanted to learn how to play, and most people wouldn't try new games with them. They were diehard set on one game or another. It's usually Magic and Wyvern, I think, was the other one that was real big. So when they wanted to play test a game, they'd give me a free starter, and I'd play with them, and we'd learn how to play the game, and then they'd decide, figure out if they wanted to run tournaments, stuff like that. Superhero Squad. Is that it? A wheel time card game, and where it all started. Yeah, you'd actually travel back in time, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. All right. Let's talk about Michael Jordan, not the one everybody cares about. Michael B. Jordan developing his own Black Superman project for HBO Max. This from Collider. Writer's currently working on a script for the Val Zod limited series. He's not like the Ta-Nehisi Coates garbage diversity nonsense where Clark Kent's black now. This is actually a Val Zod story. So this could be really interesting. And Michael B. Jordan's pretty good casting. He's a pretty good actor. Michael B. Jordan and his production company, Outlier Society, are developing their own Black Superman project for HBO Max that centers on the Val Zod incarnation of the character. Collider has learned. Sources say that the Outlier Society has hired a writer who's currently working on the script, though we are unable to ascertain their identity. Though it was initially unclear whether the Val Zod project would be a movie or a limited series, sources have since reached out to clarify that as of right now, it is in fact being written as a limited series that Jordan will produce and possibly even star in, though he has yet to officially comment on the latter front. As previously reported, J.J. Abrams and his company Bad Robot, who are really good at destroying franchises, that's my thoughts, are set to produce a Black Superman movie for Warner Brothers that is expected to follow the Kal-El Clark Kent version of the character. Though Clark Kent is traditionally depicted as white in the comics, the character will be played by a black actor in the Bad Robot movie, which will likely be directed by a black filmmaker, as Abrams is simply expected to produce. Author and cultural critic, is that what we're calling him now? Ta-Nehisi Coates is already hard at work on a script for the project. That means he's probably going to hate America. While Jordan did work with Warner Brothers on developing a Black Superman movie at one point, he recently shot down rumors that he would star in Abrams' new film, saying, "I'm flattered that people have me in that conversation. It's definitely a compliment, but I'm just watching on this one." Question is, why? Well, he said that he kind of alluded to the fact that Clark Kent's white. Well, he's an alien, technically, so he's not even like Caucasian. He's Kryptonian. Question is why a recent editorial penned by Jamie Broadnax for Black Nerd Girls provides some context and prompted Collider to do some digging, as Broadnax's sources told her that Jordan has not wanted to engage in conversations about race-bending Kal-El for the same reason many of the fans are pushing back on the current Warner Brothers reimagining version of Clark Kent, but that he would be interested in engaging on a Black Superman project centered on the Val Zod storyline, which has a lot more potential and a better chance of bringing in an audience, quite frankly. The distinction is an important one, particularly within the Black community, as Broadnax explained now, that it would be tone deaf of Warner Brothers and DC to race bend a white character and erase black characters that already exist in the DC universe under the Superman banner, Calvin Ellis and Val Zod. Absolutely. Even though Calvin Ellis is basically Barack Obama, Val Zod has a lot of potential to be an interesting character, and it's really cool that Michael B. Jordan is enough of an actual fan of comics to not screw this up by trying to race bend a character. Kevin Smith. So good on Michael B. Jordan for following a much more interesting path that leads to better storytelling and better potential, quite frankly, because if it's successful, it could do a lot of spin-offs, and you're not going to alienate your entire fan base at the same time. In fact, a lot of hardcore DC fans may want to see this and see Michael B. Jordan, who's a good actor, in a Val Zod movie. She has a valid point. If there are two perfectly good Black Supermen, why would Abrams' big-budget Black Superman movie follow the white version of the character? Is it simply because Clark Kent is better known within the realm of pop culture? Yes. It's blackface. They're just taking a character that everybody knows is white and trying to milk the popularity of him by putting blackface on him. That's all it's going to be seen as. It's the worst kind of actual blackfacing. It's almost a minstrel show at that point, and you're not even giving the actors a chance to really make it their own, because it's going to look simply as a hand-me-down. And it's going to be insulting, and very few people are going to find it interesting, and a lot of people are going to be turned off by the idea because it's lazy, hand-me-down tokenism. It's insulting to the actors, quite frankly. We may never know the answer, but it's clear that Jordan wasn't into the idea, and now he's developing his own Superman project, albeit for Warner Brothers' sister streamer, HBO Max, which is a perfect place to do it if you're doing a limited series. HBO Max could use some more fresh content. Michael B. Jordan will test out the waters, and if it does really well, he's got a lot of potential to make a lot of money. And he's in good shape, so I didn't watch the Creed movies. I heard they're stupid. But I think he's a decent actor, so he's got potential. It's important for people to see themselves in roles that they normally wouldn't see. What that does to the next generation, to a kid or somebody that didn't think that is something they could achieve, now they're thinking about it and daydreaming about it, Jordan told The Hollywood Reporter back in April while promoting Without Remorse. I heard that was dumb. Val Zod is the Superman from Earth 2, where he is one of the last Kryptonians and the second to assume the mantle of Superman. The character was orphaned after his parents were executed by Krypton's High Court, though he was found on Earth 2 by Terry Sloan, who offered the young alien asylum to protect him from the outside world. Ellis, on the other hand, is the Superman of Earth 23, where he is President of the United States. Outliers Society's feature credits include Without Remorse, Just Mercy, the HBO movie Fahrenheit 451, and Denzel Washington's upcoming drama, A Journal for Jordan, which finds MBJ playing a military man who's, in the event that he is killed in action, writes a journal for his son, teaching him how to live a decent life despite growing up without a father. That could be interesting. Sony will release that film on December 22nd. It's expected to be an awards contender for the year. Of course it is. Jordan is currently prepping his directorial debut, Creed 3, which is also developing a Static Shock movie for Warner Brothers. That could be interesting as long as they don't make it the woke trash this reboot is. A remake of the Thomas Crown Affair for MGM and Russo Brothers. It's probably going to be race bent. Jordan is represented by I don't fucking care. All right, so Static Shock movie could be good. But this could be really interesting. I'd go see this, a Val Zod movie, because at least they're doing something innovative and kind of new with a different take on Superman and not just lazy race bending. Worst kind of tokenism. You must, your anger, YouTube, so they only just told me about your streaming where you're, Susan's awful, that's why. Hi, Ryan. Hey, James, it's Val Zod from South Krypton. Yes. Neil before Zod. Yeah. How many times do they need to remake the Thomas Crown Affair? Too many. Absolutely too many. Hey, James. Hey, Costin, how you doing? Black Clark Kent doesn't make sense. The story of a black man raised in Kansas is different from a white man raised in Kansas. Well, Kansas is pretty boring, so probably won't be that much different. But yeah, it's just blackface, and it's stupid. You're not winning anyone over with that crap. Don't really care about that guy. He's an okay actor. I just don't care. Yeah, I get that. His Game Storm chain. Never heard of it. Hi, Ori. How you doing? Also, how's the eternally glorious Comrade Flippington? Oh, he's mad at me today. I haven't seen him in a few days. And he showed up today, and he was mad because we keep missing each other. So I'd go out to feed him, and he wouldn't be out there. So he was really, really hungry. So I gave him an extra helping. I gave him a whole can of food, and I gave him one of these little soup things they make. I forget. I think Friskies makes them. They're like a little disc thing with you peel the thing off, and it's got some soup with little chunks of tuna in it. So I spoiled him a little bit today. And I threw some treats in his bowl, too. That he always likes treats. Like, addicted, so. All right, next article. Let's see here what we've got on deck. Let's do a little update on Blizzard. This comes from CNN. Nearly 2,000 current and former Activision Blizzard employees signed petition in support of lawsuit against the company. If you're a current Activision Blizzard employee and you sign that, you're probably about to be a former employee. Pressure on Activision Blizzard is mounting as more than 2,000 current and former employees signed a petition slamming what they see as the video game company's abhorrent and insulting response to a California lawsuit. The petition, which circulated on Monday and seen by CNN Business, criticized the company's statements following a lawsuit filed last week by California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which alleged that multiple female employees were subject to gender discrimination, sexual harassment, and unequal pay. Activision Blizzard, the publisher of hugely popular games such as Call of Duty and World of Warcraft, is headquartered in Santa Monica, California, and has approximately 9,500 employees, according to the state's filing. The company's director of corporate communications, Kelvin Liu, blasted the state's filing and investigation as inaccurate and distorted in a statement to CNN following the lawsuit. The company did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Monday's petition. The company's statement in response to the lawsuit are abhorrent and insulting to all that we believe our company should stand for, the petition said. Well, you are California, so it's probably pretty stupid. To put it clearly and unequivocally, our values as employees are not accurately reflected in words and actions of our leadership. The petition also cited, should there be an end quote here? Or is this part of this? If you're starting a new paragraph and it's still a quote, you put another thing here, or you put an end one here. Good editing, CNN. The petition also cited an internal statement by Francis Townsend, a former George W. Bush administration counterterrorism official, and Activision Blizzard executive vice president for corporate affairs. Wow, that's a hell of a career shift. In which she reportedly described the lawsuit's allegation as factually incorrect, old, and out of context. I didn't realize that was a woman. But former counterterrorism official becomes vice president of corporate affairs. Talk about career shift. The petition calls for official statements that recognize the seriousness of these allegations and demonstrates compassion for victims of harassment and assault, and for Townsend to resign her position as executive sponsor of the company's employee women's network. Wow, you're okay. We call on the executive leadership team to work with us on new and meaningful efforts to ensure employees as well as our community have a safe place to speak out and come forward, it added. Townsend did not immediately respond for comment. Several former employees have detailed their experiences at Activision Blizzard on social media. That doesn't matter until it gets into court. Unless they're willing to testify to it in court, probably not going to matter. Even then, it probably won't matter. Accuses the company of fostering a frat boy work culture where female employees have to continually fend off unwanted sexual comments and advances by their male coworkers. Now, this is California, so a lot of it's probably just mean words. And, oh my God, he made a booby reference. The complaint also alleges that the company's executives and human resources personnel knew of the harassment and failed to take reasonable measures to prevent the unlawful conduct and instead retaliated against the women who complained. That's where it's really going to come down to, is if human resources ignored actual complaints, like somebody touched somebody's ass or something. Not just the stupid words shit, but actual harassment. If there was actual harassment, they're going to lose if their people did nothing about it. I don't know how true any of this is, but we'll find out, I'm sure. Hey, Lester, how you doing, man? I believe I've played anything either of these companies put out in years, if at all. I used to play Call of Duty with my friends on Xbox 360, but I don't have anything newer than that. I sold my 360 ages ago, too. Leaders don't reflect the values of the employees. That's a really weird issue. Yeah, that's pretty much every company, too, because the leadership has a vested interest in getting more work out of you, and the employees have a vested interest in doing less for more money. Lawsuits, mostly feminist garbage held together by flimsy arguments with no evidence to back it. Hey, Silly, how you doing? Yeah, that one surprised me. But, with California, the problem is that if there is something there that even one person experienced and it has a valid issue, it's going to get buried by all the nonsense from the fakers and the crybabies. So, I have no idea. I don't know if any of this is true or not, but some of what was described as pretty stupid behavior, like drinking in the office and doing cubicle crawl, that's just opening yourself up to a liability because there's too many crybabies, especially in California. If everybody's in on it and they're cool with it, that's one thing, but sometimes it is what it is. In California, you're going to get a lot of really hypersensitive people. They did 2-year investigation. The best they could do was Gamergate comparison. Yeah, that sounds about right. But Gamergate's the most evil thing ever. So saying good morning's harassment in California, yeah, that one surprised me. Hey, Elwolf, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. All right. So that's what's going on with that stuff. So the lawsuit stuff's heating up, and probably going to be a cleaning house over at Blizzard, Activision, whatever they're calling it now. And I'd be willing to bet they move out of California after this is all over, or maybe even before. Doing all right? Good. I was next door with my sis. Cool. By the way, how you doing, Jack? Miss you on Monkey Streams. Yeah, I've been super busy. I'm doing okay, just really busy, and I'm exhausted. Getting up at like 7 a.m. and then spending all day trying to amuse the dog so he doesn't bark at me and try and chew on me. And then hanging out with my folks, helping mom with her exercises so the dog can bark at me while I'm helping her because he's like, well, stop attacking grandma. She was watching Salty. Nice. All right. Let's talk about Dragon Ball. It's a topic I know very little about. From Kotaku, new Dragon Ball anime movie teased by CG Goku. Now, Goku is the ambassador for the Olympics, but there's apparently a new Dragon Ball movie. I thought some people like the Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Super is getting a new anime feature. It's called, wait for it, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, because one super is not enough. Announced during the San Diego Comic-Con, which nobody is watching, if their numbers are anything to be reflected. They actually have been streaming and doing a bunch of like panels and stuff, and nobody's watching them because everybody forgot San Diego Comic-Con was going on. This will be the Dragon Ball's 21st anime movie and the second Dragon Ball Super feature, following up on 2018's Dragon Ball Super Broly, which isn't that the movie that Vic Mignogna got in trouble that he didn't get anything for or whatever. I think that was his movie. Dragon Ball Super debuted in 2015 with the TV series and manga. That's the above. The upcoming movie is slated for 2022. Release in Japan. Hopefully it will get an international screening next year as well. Probably. I imagine it'll be here by 2023. Australia will probably get it before we do. Toriyama appears deeply involved in the movie, working on the story since the development stage as well as designing characters. Goku voice actress. A chick does Goku's voice? Huh. Masako Nazawa is especially excited. Oh, that's cool. Got the Goku voice actress. I didn't know that was a chick. Shows how much I watch. And the original creator appears to be involved. That's awesome. I'm sure you're all bursting with excitement waiting for the Dragon Ball movie. I'm certain that Dragon Ball Superhero will more than live up to everyone's expectations. The superhero subtitle is pretty cool, right? I love how simple and straight to the point it is. The new character designed by Toriyama don't quite look like anyone you've seen before. They've got a great sense of style, looking slick, wearing boots. Definitely a unique addition to Dragon Ball. And I can't wait to see what they can do. It's one of those, oh my god, you ramble. Yes, the teaser shows the CG Goku, but that doesn't necessarily mean the whole movie will be CG. Back in 2012, Toei Animation released a trailer with CG for Dragon Ball Z, Battle of the Gods. However, in most recent movies, Toei has been putting big CG battles in the anime, mixing them into traditional animation. That's interesting. I don't think that would age well, though. Both Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F and Dragon Ball Super Broly had their fair share, sometimes in very noticeable ways. We'll have to wait to see if Toei's going full CG. Now, if they go full CG, that might not be a good idea, because CG continues to evolve, and every couple of years, what came before looks massively dated. But I figured there'd be some Dragon Ball Super fans out there that would be interested in knowing a new movie's coming out. You might have to sail the high seas for it. I don't know. But I imagine a dubbed version will likely hit the States within a year or two. But I'll drop the link to the article if you guys want to see the trailer, because it is linked in there. Women do nearly all children's voices, and they don't usually change much when they turn adult in anime. I know they did a lot of like kid voices, but I didn't know they did like adults too. Broly's another saying. That Broly's another word I don't know. Okay. Usually takes an extra year before it reaches North America. That's what I thought. Time traveling Trunks. Is Trunks a character, or are you talking about magic underwear? Do they have like talking underwear in this, or talking shorts? That's weird if they have talking undergarments. Pirate's Life for me. I'm a fan, not a super fan. I haven't watched much past Battle of God. I don't even know what that is. Both? I don't think so. They have both, technically. Okay, that's weird. They should have the CG set up, then render every time. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good way to do it, random. Oolong turned into talking panties once. I don't know who Oolong is either. Trunks is a character. The whole family is underwear-based names. Oh, okay. That makes sense. But the other is funny. Thank you. I'd be more inclined to watch it if there was like a talking pair of shorts. Like, you farted again. Stop it. Trunks is Vegeta's son. Okay, I've heard of Vegeta. I saw the first movie when I was really young, and it wasn't dubbed. It was subtitled. That's how long ago it was. Because back in the old days, you had to wait till some asshole you knew got it on VHS and trade around, trade for it. Because anime just didn't catch on until like it really didn't catch on until about the late 90s, early 2000s. Roshi is I don't understand any of that. Oh, and all except Super, so yeah, yay for the movies. Is a pig. Oh, okay. He has pink hair. Oh, that's not cool. The feminist movement and the SJWs have really ruined dyed hair for me. And it's sad because that really does taint my view of anime. Unpopular opinion, there was only one Battlestar Galactica and it starred Lord and Green. I love the original Battlestar Galactica, absolutely. I've only seen most of the miniseries of the new one and a few random episodes, and I had no idea what was going on. But the miniseries looked like it was pretty good. I think my brother's got a copy of it. I might have to borrow it at some point. I might actually own the miniseries and not know it. If I do, it's packed away in storage somewhere. Because I remember I got a copy at one point, but I don't know if I still have it. But yeah, I like the original. It had such potential. I think it really should have gone past the season. And it could have really had a hardcore following if it could have gotten out of its own way. Because this is very of its time. And if they had gotten away from the disco look of some things. Buck Rogers had some of that problem to some extent too. But not quite as bad as Battlestar Galactica did. I agree, Evolved, but it's become a warning sign like poisonous animal to me. If not for them getting Richard Hatch, I would have missed it completely. Though you watched the movie first, really? Don't go bad-mouthing Speed Racer. Everybody loved Speed Racer, didn't they? It had the Mach 5. Okay, let's see. What do we got on deck? Okay, let's talk some Black Panther. Hey, Trucker. How you doing? Trucker with a tablet. Hope you're doing well, man. All right, Black Panther 2. This is from Screen Rant. Black Panther 2 video hints at T'Challa memorial and his MCU story ending. Recently released set video for Black Panther Wakanda Forever hints at a memorial for King T'Challa, character played by the late Chadwick Boseman. Celebrated actor Chadwick Boseman tragically passed away in August 2020. Yeah, that was sad. That's an awful way to go. Although Boseman should be considered a hero in his own right, known for his inspirational example and charity work. To Marvel fans, he will always be remembered most fondly for playing the part of Black Panther in the MCU. He was a really decent person, from what I've heard. He did a lot of charity stuff, and he filmed entire movies while he was dying of cancer. So, more power to him on that front. That takes a lot of guts and a lot to go through. Marvel Studios is determined to honor his legacy, and they've confirmed they will not recast his role. I think that's a mistake and actually a disservice to Boseman. I think he would have wanted them to have recast the character so that it could go on. So not recasting him, I think, is actually not the proper way to go, especially because you can't really have a Black Panther movie without a Black Panther, and T'Challa is Black Panther, not Shuri. No, Marvel, bad Marvel. Principal photography on Black Panther 2 officially started in June 2021, but the first glimpse of the upcoming Marvel blockbuster was offered in a surprise set video, apparently showing Wakanda's throne room. The first Black Panther earned a much-deserved Oscar for production design, and the same love and care is clearly being taken with the sequel. Hopefully they step up their game with the garbage CGI. But this set video may be more important than anyone realized, because on close examination, there are pillars inscribed with words in the Wakandan language. It's actually possible to translate words from Wakandan. It's not a real language. Because in October 2020, Marvel published an official in-universe book called The Wakanda Files. This purports to be records collected and collated by Shuri, and even foreshadowed what WandaVision's Scarlet Witch retcons, so it should clearly be taken seriously. Most interestingly, oh my god, I can't read. It includes a Wakanda translation key. Using this, it's possible to translate words on the pillar, and they seem to point to a new memorial to the late King T'Challa. Although some letters are obscured by camera and lights, the inscription seems to read, "Rest in power, King T'Challa, our hero. It was an honor, Wakanda forever." The inscription indicates King T'Challa has indeed passed away, with the Wakandans choosing to honor him by establishing a lasting memorial to their late king. It certainly makes sense for them to hold T'Challa above all other kings, because for all his reign may have been tragically brief, he had an enduring impact on Wakanda. T'Challa abandoned the isolationist policies of previous rulers, revealing the nation's secrets to the world, and he established allies among the Avengers. Wakandans participated in the two greatest battles against Thanos' forces, one even taking place on Wakandan soil. There has not likely been a more influential king to Wakanda since it was founded under Bashanga, the first Black Panther. No doubt Black Panther 2 will have something of an emotional experience, both for those involved in the production and for audiences worldwide. Yeah. Boseman's dead. It was tragic that he died the way he did. That's a shit way to go. But I think they're doing a disservice by not having a Black Panther and recasting T'Challa, because, like I said, it's a mistake, because the character should go on, and Boseman would have wanted it to go on, I think, if he was a real actor, and he seems to have been. So I'll drop this link. If there's supposed to be a link to the video in there if you guys want to watch it. I don't know, Ori. I don't know. I don't think they're going to say. I hate the phrase "rest in power" too. Random. It's stupid. If you have that much power, why are you resting? Marvel doesn't want to do a Duke Boys, so they're going to go with the Black Panther to do a Phantom. Yeah, well, I don't know how long they could do Wakanda stories without a central character, and Shuri isn't good enough of a character to carry the franchise. Like it or not, Black Panther is the driving force of Black Panther movies. So that's kind of dumb. All right, let's talk some toys. No, we'll do that last because that's a little more upbeat. I'll do the sad story first. This comes from comicbook.com. Bob Odenkirk rushed to hospital after collapsing on the set of Better Call Saul. He was a star on Breaking Bad. He played Saul. And the recent action hit Nobody has been rushed to the hospital after collapsing on the set of Breaking Bad spinoff Better Call Saul. The actor and comedian reportedly collapsed around 11:30 p.m., according to TMZ, who broke the news. This is from yesterday. According to the report, Odenkirk's exact status is unknown, but he is reportedly still in the hospital. The collapse occurred while Odenkirk was filming Better Call Saul on the Sony backlot, and an ambulance was called to take him from the lot to a nearby hospital. There were no further details at the time of this publishing. He's been playing Saul Goodman, real name Jimmy McGill, for over a decade, first appearing in a 2009 episode of Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul is currently filming its 6th and final season. When audiences first met Saul, he was a slimy but successful criminal defense lawyer who became wrapped up in a web of lies, violence, and chaos that followed Walter White everywhere he went. The premise of Better Call Saul is explaining how Jimmy McGill, a small-time criminal, made his transformation into Saul Goodman. Over the life of the series so far, Odenkirk has earned 4 Golden Globe nominations for Best Actor in a Television Drama Series, 4 Emmy nominations for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. He hasn't won any. That's kind of crap. He's a good actor. AMC recently revealed that they are developing Slippin' Jimmy, an animated prequel to Better Call Saul that centers on brothers Jimmy, Bob Odenkirk, and Chuck McGill, Michael McKean. The spinoff follows the adventures of the young McGill brothers and friends back home in Circio, Illinois, years before the two lawyers clashed privately and professionally over the law firm Hamlin, and McGill. Slippin' Jimmy will hail from writers Ariel Levin, Better Call Saul, and Kathleen Williams-Forsher. According to the original announcement, the series is created in the retro style of Fat Albert and will pay, oh my god, that'll be funny. It pay homage to everything from spaghetti westerns to Buster Keaton to After Hours. There's no word yet on whether Odenkirk and McKean plan to return to reprise their roles or whether younger versions of McKill brothers will be voiced by other actors. Well, I hope he's okay. This sounds like it could be bad if they actually took him to the hospital. He's got to be in his 50s, late 50s maybe. So that might be bad. It might be a heart condition or something. I don't want to speculate too much. He's fine and stable now. Oh, good. Well, I hope he pulls through okay. Cicero? Yeah, I'm never getting that right. Dusty Hill, ZZ Top died today? Oh, boo. Oh, that sucks. Saw ZZ Top many times. I never saw him live, but I was a big fan of their music. Well, I hope they're getting a lot of loving up wherever they went. That sucks, man. All the good guys are dying. All the good bands are gone. Gone, man. Gone. All right. Last article for the night is about some toys, because I thought this would be fun. Ghostbusters Afterlife Hasbro toys revealed. This morning, this is from yesterday, Sony Pictures released a new trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I haven't seen yet. Heard it. Monkey didn't seem too impressed. Revealing more info about the situation surrounding the family of the late Dr. Egon Spangler, Harold Ramis, may he rest in peace, comedian genius. The new generation of Ghostbusters includes Lucky, Celeste O'Connor, Trevor, Finn Wolfhard, Podcast, oh my god, Logan Kim, and Phoebe McKenna Grace. And Hasbro has released details on their Ghostbusters Plasma Series figures. They've also suited up the 3 original Ghostbusters for a new Plasma Series wave. Indeed, Peter Venkman, Bill Murray, Ray Stantz, Dan Aykroyd, and Winston Zedmore, Ernie Hudson are back in Ghostbusters Afterlife, which should be cool. And older versions of their characters are represented with new Plasma Series figures. Apparently, these 6-inch figures will include a Build-A-Ghost pieces that will form a Sentinel Terror Dog figure. In addition to Ghostbusters, there may end up being spoilers on here, just as a heads up. In addition to the Ghostbusters Plasma Series wave, Hasbro also announced a Nerf Mini Puffed Popper, Clue Game, RV Ghost Trap, and Fright feature figures based on the upcoming film. Images are available in the gallery below. All of these items are expected to launch in the fall, presumably ahead of Ghostbusters Afterlife, due in theaters on November 11th. Pre-orders were not live at the time of this writing, but we would expect that to change in coming days. Well, I think you'll be able to find them at Walmart just fine. I've got a couple of the Plasma Series of the first run they did with the original lineup and Dana Barrett, and they're pretty nice figures. And you could build a a Vince Clortho with it. Small town, blah blah, plot, don't care, look at toys. All right, so aside from the stupid nicknames, which will be vastly outdated in 10 years, these toys actually don't look too bad. The kids look stupid. They have dumb hairdos, but I guess this is the Ectotrap RV they're talking about. That's kind of an interesting idea. Of course, kid, $25 a piece. You'll find them cheaper than that, I'm sure. Available fall 2021. Does it say accessories? Highly posable collection of action figures features premium design, detailing, and articulation that embody the quality and realism Ghostbuster fans have expected from Hasbro's Plasma series. Each 6-inch scale action figure comes with film-inspired accessories, including new Build-A-Ghost pieces for select figures that form a Sentinel Terror Dog figure. Here's the original Ghostbusters aged up. Now, I recognize this one because I've got Venkman right next to me here. And it's basically the exact same mold. They just grayed his hair. That's the only difference. And the straps on here look pretty much the same. These may be slightly different. But it looks like they just aged them up a little bit. But the Bill Murray one looks almost identical except for the hair. Yeah, that looks pretty much identical. So if you've got the first Plasma series, I'm sure it's fine. Here's the Sentinel Terror Dog that you can form. It's kind of cool looking. Here's the Mini Puff Popper. I guess this is a Nerf gun. They have something similar to this out already for the regular Nerf line, but this Ghostbusters themed. The Clue Edition. That says retail is only $20. Usually these are like $40 for the licensed stuff. So I'll see if I can find it cheaper, or somebody I know has a discount at a store, and then maybe I'll unbox it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how these stupid nicknames work. A lot of these kids are older now, so making a sequel is going to be a little difficult because they filmed it like 2 or 3 years ago. And here's the RC Ghost Trap. It's obviously for little kids. Might be cool for ages 6 and up. Yeah, if you got a little kid, might be cool. But $41 is very expensive. Allows you to Ghost Trap toy to drive forwards, backwards, and perform smooth J-hook turns. While moving in reverse, the trap will open and a Muncher Ghost figure will pop out and try to escape. Here's some smaller figures, the Fright Feature figures. These are also by Hasbro, obviously. $10.99 each. These are the 5-inch scale figures, accompanied by interactive ghost figure with fright features, along with Proton Pack, Proton Blaster accessories. Once activated, ghosts stretch, spook, and cause a fright. Now, these look... I know this one looks just like a figure they had out for the real Ghostbusters line back in the... what was it? Early 90s, whatever, from the animated series. So that one looks kind of like that too. So these might be, they might have these in the movie, I don't know. These are smaller figures. Ages 4 and up. Yeah, that's it. The toys look okay, especially the Plasma series ones. I might try and find some of these. I don't know about these kids. I don't really care about them. See if the movie's any good before I buy those. They'll probably be on clearance by the time I get to them then. But yeah, those are some new toys. They look pretty good. From what I've seen of the Plasma series, they do have decent articulation. They don't really have good arm swivel. They have like a joint up here that swivels, and it's not that great, but they do bend in the general locations. And they do have a swivel on the thigh too, so you can manipulate them to stand better. And the original Plasma series was really good, so if these are anywhere near as good as those, they should be pretty decent quality. I've got all the first run, and I thought they were pretty decent, so thought that'd be worth a look. So from tell more stories. Yeah, that makes sense, Kyler. Kind of like the old GI Joes, a little bit, but the kung fu grip isn't quite as good. It's the best way to describe it. Do you ever use brick CCAP when you were game hunting? No, I've never used it. I've heard you mention it before, and I've heard some other people mention it, but I've never used it before. Is that something I need to download? Amazon Ghost Delivery Drone. Hammered the nostalgia, though. Yeah, probably. It's probably mostly nostalgia stuff. I bet Ray's gonna die. He chose Gozer's form and possessed by Vigo. He's a target for trouble. That's true. He does have a track record of bad decision making. More rubbery. Kung Fu grip is a euphemism. It is. It is. We'll do another minute or so for questions or whatever, general banter, and then I'll wrap it up. I'm sure Monkey wants to do a show at some point, and I got to eat dinner. Yeah, the new G.I. Joe re-releases, I don't know if you guys have seen them. They're really, really nice. They're expensive. When we were kids, G.I. Joe was like $4 a piece, which was pretty expensive. It was like twice the price of a Star Wars figure. But now it's like $12.99. You got that for $1? Wow. I'll have to check that out. General Banter's a new foe for G.I. Joe. More like a general problem, a global problem for everyone. Yeah, do it, Okie. Sell that crap. Make some cash. Yeah, Hasbro could be a real mixed bag, and they know they're one of the biggest toy companies. I think they are the biggest now. That they can do whatever they want, and you don't really get a choice because they own everything. You only had one G.I. Joe? Wow. Wow, that's depressing. Yeah, the My Little Pony stuff, the play sets, I reviewed a couple of those ages ago. The play sets looked like they were pretty well done, but ponies don't do a lot. Like, you'd think they would put knees in them and stuff like that. I don't know. You're right. They do seem kind of lazy on that front. Make stuff posable. GoBots are better than Transformers. That's what I've heard. GoBots were always the Big Lots version. But the new G.I. Joe toys are really, really nice quality. I was really shocked by that. I had the chance to buy a Snake Eyes, but I passed it up because I wanted to get food. And I regret it ever since because I haven't seen any more since then. But they've got some new, I think they're 8-inch tall figures coming out, the Mego size ones, Mego, however you pronounce that crap. Those look really cool. They're doing a 2-pack with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I think we covered it on Friday. But that looked really cool. And the new 3.75 figures are really, really nice. They're just expensive. But they are re-releasing more stuff. They're coming out with another Hiss tank and some more figures, Cobra Commander, stuff like that. Should be pretty cool. Had the helicopter with Wild Bill and one Cobra Soldier. Had enough to send away for the combat surfboard. I always wanted that. I never got one. I never had a whole lot of G.I. Joe stuff. We had a few, but not many. No movement, only one. Oh, wow. That's just lazy. Oh, Dusty was awesome. I like that figure. I know one of the guys who does the artwork for the toy packaging in the movies based on Hasbro. He much prefers working for them over Marvel. Yeah, I would hope so. Marvel sounds like it's really garbage to work with these days. The toy packaging does look really nice. That was one of the things that sold me on the characters when I was a kid, was that big yellow flash, like explosion look behind them. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's very dynamic. It really highlighted the character. But they did re-release the Jeep, the helicopter, the little Cobra helicopter, the small one. I'm hoping they release some more stuff because some of it's really good. It's a real shame that Mattel bitched out like they did because the Masters of the Universe Retro line was really cool. Oh, that figures. Yeah, when I was in college, I knew a guy that had all of the original My Little Ponies, and I think there was a castle or something he had them displayed on. I don't know if it was a pony castle or not, but he had them displayed because he was a huge toy collector and it was pretty socially unacceptable back then. That was like 96, 97. Nice dude, but really weird. But he had all the My Little Ponies and G.I. Joes, and he'd get really mad if you'd put the G.I. Joes on the My Little Ponies and pretend they were mounts and do little jousting, and then he'd yell at you and tell you to knock it off. Oh, that's pretty cool, old guy. Some of the Snake Eyes artwork. I wish I had 1% of his talent. Yeah, I know the feeling, man. Yeah, that's what I said, El Wolf. Like, it's totally reasonable to make the ponies into, like, war mounts. They're ponies. So, yeah, he had all kinds of cool stuff, though. He had the big G.I. Joe Command Center, and he had all the figures around it, and so it looked like a big battle scene, and he had the Terror Dome on the other end of this big table, so it looked like the G.I. Joes and Cobra were attacking each other. It's really cool. He had a bunch of Barbies too, speaking of which, but yeah, he had thousands and thousands of dollars of toys, and it surprised me. He probably still does. I don't know whatever happened to the guy, but it was amazing how much stuff he had. Right? All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching the show, and hopefully we'll see you on the Friday one. But thank you so much for the donations. It's really, really appreciated. You guys have been very generous today. I appreciate everybody coming out, watching, and supporting the show. Be sure and hit like, share, and subscribe. All that happy crap. But thanks for coming out. Hopefully we'll see you for Friday Night Comics, or we'll see you on Monkey in the Morning if you want to listen to some politics. Fallout Equestria story. Okay, that would make a cool video game. You guys have a great night. I do have to go play with the cat a little bit, and I will see you all on the next one. Thanks, everybody.